think everyone thinks of some of the obvious names like Whirlpool being an appliance manufacturer, or even Home Depot and Lowe's, who sell a lot of appliances, although it's really only about 10% of their sales. An interesting one that people, I think, leave out is Best Buy. And appliances are actually as important to Best Buy as they are to Home Depot and Lowe's. So another, about 10% of sales or so. So really a pretty big category for them, and a really high ticket category as well.
Why do you have a buy on Home Depot, Best Buy, Lowe's, all of the retailers, but a hold on Whirlpool itself?
Yeah, I think this is a tough time for manufacturers. The same chip shortages, steel prices rising, things that are impacting autos right now are also impacting the appliance market. And so, supply is a problem. You've been talking about supply chain issues all day long, from, paper to trucking to all sorts of other elements. And, so for appliance manufacturers, it is kind of challenging, and it could compress margins. We've been hearing a number of manufacturers pre-announcing negatively. And I think for retailers, which have a broader swath of products and, who are tied really to the U.S. consumer, you don't want to discount the power of the U.S. consumer. People are still going out and shopping, and they're paying more for product. And so the retailers that have the product, which are generally those larger retailers that have great relationships with their suppliers and are able to pay up for product as well and for shipping, then, they're able to actually get product to consumers. And that's a huge advantage in this market.
The appliance market, having recently done a kitchen, fascinates me. I don't know who owns Genair. I don't know who owns Wolf. I don't know who owns the GE brand anymore, honestly. Maybe they're American companies, maybe they're not. But I wonder whether the powerhouses in appliance manufacturing are now non-U.S. companies like Bosch, like LG, like Samsung, like Electrolux, and others.
Yeah, that's a fair point. If you look at market share trends over the last decade, Whirlpool was the incumbent strong North American brand, and it has been losing some share to LG and Samsung in particular. Those are the two that have really been disruptive in this market. And, when you think about the fact that they're also, chip manufacturers and are able to get that product a little easier, it does create this difficult environment for Whirlpool to keep up.
I think it's the Sub-Zero group, Ty.
Sub-Zero. I was trying to think of Sub-Zero.
If I look into it. Liz, actually, what Tyler's saying makes me wonder if the big technology companies are going to increasingly move into this space. In the same way that we already have display panels on the Samsung refrigerators, could that be coming to other parts of the kitchen and be a long-term risk to some of these names?
Yeah, I think it's something that's been a trend for a while. It's been taking place. And, at this point, it's really about, as we look at Whirlpool in particular, and we look at where the stock trades, it's at a very low multiple relative to a lot of retail names and even some of their international competitors. And I think that is baking in that, that gradual market share loss. But, it's not inevitable that this is going to be an ongoing trend. If we look, in the automotive market, for example, I think I draw a lot of parallels there. And so I think that it'll be interesting to watch this market progress. But again, the U.S. consumer is in very strong shape. So I think that this is a rising tide that could lift all boats. Just, maybe, a slight disadvantage for a Whirlpool versus some of the retailers that sell all of the brands.
Exactly. And they could sell no matter what's going on. Liz, we really appreciate it.